Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bernadine and I'm 52 years old and I'm sharing my GLP-1 journey openly and honestly with you. The wins, the struggles, the bad, the ugly, just everything in between. Today I want to talk about my first week on GLP-1 and what the experience was like for me. If you're thinking about starting a GLP-1 medication or you just began your journey, I hope this video will help you to know what to expect. First, before I dive into everything, I'm not a doctor, so if you want to start using GLP-1, please consult with your doctor first. So let's dive in. Let's talk about the injection, the first injection. So I'll be honest, I was very nervous. I checked the instructions multiple times before giving myself the injection because I'm actually scared of needles. So that was really a hard one for me. But once I actually did it, I realized it wasn't nearly as bad as I had imagined. The anticipation was worse than the injection itself. If you're worried about the shot, you're definitely not alone. So let's talk about my hunger changes. One of the first things I noticed was that my appetite started to change. Not just overnight or after the first injection, but within a few days. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't constantly thinking about food and I wasn't planning my next snack while eating my current meal or what am I going to eat? Chips or sweets or what is my next, thing going to be to eat. So the food noise started just to getting quieter, and I was very happy about that because it just drove me insane, if I can say that. And that was honestly one of the biggest surprises for me. So let's talk about side effects. Now, let's talk about side effects because that's what everybody wants to know. For me, the side effects were mild during the first week. I experienced some fatigue and I felt a little bit more tired than usual. There were moments when I felt slightly nauseous, especially if I waited too long to eat or didn't drink enough water. Nothing severe for me, but definitely I noticed some side effects. One thing I've learned already is that hydration is incredibly important if you are on GLP-1. Water became my best friend that first week. So let's talk about a little bit about the emotional side of GLP-1. So something people don't talk about enough is the emotional side of this journey. When food has been a source of comfort or stress relief or a celebration, it can feel strange when you suddenly don't have the same craving or the same cravings. I found myself becoming more aware of my habits and why I reached for food in certain situations. So I really looked at the pattern that I used before going on GLP-1. I also started journaling a lot, just put down how I feel, also what I eat, just to see, what do I put in my mouth and how it is it healthy or not healthy, and just relate to that. And it was really an eye-opening for me. So this week wasn't just about physical changes, it was also about learning more about myself, and looking and checking in with myself the whole time. So let me tell you a little bit about what I ate. I focused on simple meals with protein. Protein is very important: fruits, vegetables, and like I said, plenty of water. I quickly realized that eating smaller portions felt more comfortable for me. Trying to eat the same amount I was used to before didn't feel very good on my stomach or even, in my body. I also realized that I get fuller quickly, and my body was clearly telling me when I had enough to eat. So I just think listening by to those signals is something I'm still learning. The scale, now let's talk about the scale. Whether I lost weight this week or not, I'm trying to focus more on just a number. I'm paying attention to how I feel, my energy levels, my hunger, and the habits I'm building going on this journey. So, like I said, this goal isn't just weight loss, it's more than weight loss. The goal is improving my health and creating lasting change. So, I did lose weight the first week. I lost about 3 pounds the first week, and I would just like, I think it was more like water weight than anything else, and just the inflammation I had in my body. So the biggest lesson that I learned from week one, I would say, if I had to sum up the first week in one sentence, it will be this: I realized that GLP is a tool. It's not magic. It's not a magic pill. It's not a magic injection that you take and tomorrow you are thin. Or, it helps. It helps. And it's a tool that you are using every single day. I will also say it's helping me manage my hunger and make better choices. But I'm still the one that needs to put in the work, if that makes sense. So I'm learning, I'm adjusting, and I'm giving myself grace along the way. Look, there's days that I have not such good days, but the next day I just pick myself up and I try to do better. Now, thank you so much for watching this video and being here. If you are on a GLP journey too, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments. Tell me, how was your first week like? And if you're considering starting, feel free to ask questions. I'll share what I've learned from my own experience. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along as I document this journey week by week.